The court documents only refer to the victims by their initials. One victim, called RD, is described as the owner of the 1017 record label, which was founded by Grammy-nominated rapper Gucci Mane, whose real name is Roderick Davis. DOJ saying that the incident began with a dispute over a record contract. Fox 4 Dallas reporter David Sentendry is here with more. David, what can you tell us?
Yeah, well, I can tell you this was disguised as a traditional business meeting inside a recording studio, but then it turned into an ambush.
Don't make you big.
Lontrell Williams Jr., a well-known rapper by the stage name Pooh Shiesty, was on house arrest for a firearms conviction related to drug trafficking when the Department of Justice says he led a group to rob and kidnap 3 people inside a Dallas recording studio back in January. The motive? So Pooh Shiesty could get out of a record contract with rapper Gucci Mane's label, the new 1017 Records.
We're not talking about low-level rappers here, guys who are trying to make it.
TMZ tells Fox 4 to let go of Pooh Shiesty would have been a financial blow to Gucci Mane's record label.
He had a lot of artists under his label, and then he made a decision that he was going to let go a lot of those artists. One of the very few, though, that he held on to happened to be Pooh Shiesty, because, again, Pooh Shiesty is somebody who's got a lot of fans. He's got hit music, and certainly somebody that Gucci Mane could be profitable.
According to a criminal complaint, Pooh Shiesty was upset with contract terms. Surveillance images show Pooh Shiesty, his father, and 7 others before they enter the studio. Once inside, Pooh Shiesty pulled what appeared to be a black AK-style pistol, pointing it at the head of a victim, labeled RD, demanding RD sign contractual release paperwork. RD complied. Gucci Mane's legal name, Roderick Davis, matches those initials.
The victims in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence.
That wasn't the end of it. The feds say the group robbed the victims of expensive jewelry and cash.
One of the victims was actually choked.
They know all the information, man.
To the point of near unconsciousness.
Yeah, they know everything.
Lives in Frisco, according to the complaint, but investigators say most of the alleged accomplices traveling from Memphis, Tennessee, were staying at a Dallas hotel the day of the ambush, including accomplice Rodney Wright Jr., a rapper with the stage name Big 30. Social media post reportedly shows suspect Terrence Rogers wearing a variety of jewelry believed to be stolen during the robbery, even stolen sneakers. There's also a post highlighting a large amount of cash. Footage from Memphis shows federal investigators collecting evidence at the home of Pooh Shiesty's father, Lontrell Williams Sr. That was on Wednesday, the day most suspects were arrested.
We remain committed to investigating violent crimes like these.
We mentioned Pooh Shiesty lives in Frisco. That's a suburb of Texas. Again, Frisco. It's about 30 minutes north of Dallas where Pooh Shiesty lives. He actually lives in an apartment right next to the Dallas Cowboys training facility. Everyone else involved is believed to have come from out of town during this event. Again, 9 people, 9 suspects we're talking about, 8 of them in custody. Feds still looking for one more who's believed to possibly be in Georgia. Austin?
David Sentendry with us tonight. David, always appreciate you. You heard a little bit of the...
They know so much details that how the hell did Pooh Shiesty think he was going to get away with this? Like, they know everything. Pictures. They got all the evidence, man. And then they got people corroborating the story. How the hell did he think he was going to get away with this? What possessed him to think that this was the move to get out the contract? Like, you would have been better off just staying in your damn contract, man. Like, this is like a bright idea. I'm wondering, was he sitting in the house one night and said, man, I'm going to put the strap to him. He going to sign this. And really woke up and went and proceeded to do this. That shit's crazy. Yeah, like, come on, man. I don't know if he thought he was in the movies. This shit's real life, man. You know what I mean? People ain't nobody accepting that shit. He thought he was in the movies. Like, come on, man. I'm ready to do this and Hey, listen, man. From him just seeing that you know your money couldn't get you out of the situation before, maybe they didn't give him enough time the first time. Because that could it be. You know what I mean? That really could be. The situation, he didn't get enough time. You know what I mean? So I guess what you saying, Yo Gotti had $10 million to sign him if he was able to get out the contract. Well, that $10 million, it didn't look that good. I know Yo Gotti couldn't have gave him the $10 million already. I'm sure he had to wait and make sure. Because I know Yo Gotti heard about what happened when it happened, just like everybody else. So I'm sure he didn't say, I'm going to give you this $10 million now. It might have been, all right, we're going to work on it, get it done. But to give up $10 million when you heard everybody saying what happened, you got to know an indictment's coming. So I don't think Yo Gotti gave it up then. But God, Pooh Shiesty definitely made a dumb decision.
Press conference in David's piece. Let's play the full thing out from the beginning. Here it is.
Good morning. I'm Catherine Miller, the Acting Public Affairs Officer for the U.S. Attorney's Office of the Northern District of Texas. Today, you're going to hear from Ryan Raybolt, the United States Attorney for the Northern District of Texas, Jeremy Wright, Assistant Special Agent in charge of FBI Dallas. And we will have a brief question and answer session after their remarks. Please identify yourself by your name and your media outlet when asking questions, and confine the content of your questions to today's press conference. At the podium, joining Ryan Raybolt and Jeremy Wright is Executive Assistant Chief of Police with the Dallas Police Department, Terrence Rhodes, Assistant U.S. Attorney Robert Withers, Assistant U.S. Attorney Claire Demers, and Assistant U.S. Attorney and Violent Crimes Chief Jeremy Fugate, all of the Northern District of Texas. And with that, I'll turn it over to Ryan.
Good morning. I'm Ryan Raybolt. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims. The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendants' roles in the federal offense. This is as follows: electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least two of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense. The victims in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document. This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not, and that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here, and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas, will bring you swiftly to justice. I want to thank the FBI Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, the FBI's Memphis Resident Agency and Nashville Field Office, the Memphis Safe Task Force, the Dallas Police Department, the United States Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, Michael Dunovit, and AUSA Greg Wagner, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Texas, my dear friend and colleague Jay Combs, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Tennessee, including my colleague Braden Busek, for their outstanding contributions in this multi-jurisdictional investigation and prosecution. I'd also like to highlight the extraordinary work. None of this happens without the extraordinary work of our AUSAs in this office, and I'm here to say we have the best AUSAs in the entire country. That includes AUSAs Robert Withers, Claire Demers, and my violent crime chief, Jeremy Fugate. This case really underscores the importance of standing up for crime victims, no matter who they are or where they come from, and the incredible collaborative, investigative partnerships that we have, not only in the Northern District of Texas, but across the country. And we are all working together to make our country safer.